start my screencast recording. Okay, are you guys ready to start? Everybody get in?
No. Can you scroll down a little?
Oh, there it is. Perfect. Who said they couldn't share me? Yeah, if you go file, make a copy of it, then it's yours to edit, and it won't mess up on. Have you guys ever shared a Google Doc with your students and you forgot to make the settings be view only, and then you went and opened it and you found that the student had altered the document and you see it typed on it? I mean, I've never done that. Have y'all done that?
I've heard it happen.
Have you ever heard of that happening? Of those dumb teachers out there? And so I was looking for a blank handout, and I went and had all the answers filled in already. Oh no, I had to redo it.
You abandoned
Okay.
That's fine.
All right, we'll go ahead and start then. I'll let Debbie start. Is it recording? Are we recording
Are you
over
trying to get
there?
some internet? Because you're not on the internet.
We're recording.
Oh, is that what it is?
That's what it is.
It's going. Okay. All right. Well, we first of all just wanted to thank you all again for coming in the middle of the summer. We tried to entice you with snacks and just our unimpressiveness. And so we do appreciate you all coming here. We're hoping by the end of this 30 minutes that you will feel like we've done you a favor, because we have done a lot of work on this, and hopefully we have some good, helpful information for you. We're going to go pretty quickly. The only thing you're going to need this actual website for is when you're doing your own searches. There's different videos that we're going to play. They're pretty quick, but we're just going to play them up here so everybody's not playing their videos at a different time. We're going to be covering 3 specific things about OERs: what they are, why we care, or why they're important, and also how to actually find them and use them. Those are the 3 things that we'll cover. We're going to cover a definition of OERs, and then we're going to show you some examples, and then we'll go through some other information about that. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to start with a little video that there are a couple of short videos, and everything we're going to do today is on the document right in front of you. You will be able to repeat this at any time. No, sorry. Sorry, I can't get off this. There it is.
Education is vital. It enriches our lives, sustains our communities, and helps us grow into the future. At least, that's the idea. Truth is, education as we know it is failing millions around the world. Take Tando, for example. He's a bright kid with big dreams, but the education he's getting is holding him back. You see, Tando's school can't afford the latest learning materials, so he has to work with textbooks that are completely outdated. To make matters worse, Tando's teacher is also left using outdated information, often without even realizing it. And even if he manages to overcome this and gets into college, the cost of all the lessons, books, and notes he needs will land Tundo in a pile of debt. It's not just Tundo. This situation is being replayed in schools and colleges all around the world. So much for education for all. So how can we fix things? The answer lies in open education. Open education is a global movement that aims to bring quality education to teachers and students everywhere. The basic idea is to put top-notch learning materials on the web that anyone can access for free. You see, unlike textbooks, open ed resources can always be revised, so they're never out of date. Teachers are given free license to adapt them and improve them, giving students exactly what they need to achieve their dreams. As all open ed resources are free to share, schools are no longer limited by where they are or how much money they have. And if you think open education doesn't make the grade, think again. Open ed resources are being created by the world's most respected institutions and scholars. And the Obama administration is set to invest up to $2 billion in open ed in the next 4 years alone. From the highest branches of government right down to grassroots level, open education is changing lives. Visit creativecommons.org/education to learn more.
All dated with Obama.
Okay, so that's just to give you an overview. Okay, so, and I'm sorry, I meant to kind of introduce us a little bit. I'm Debbie, I teach at Spring Branch Middle School, and this is Mindy, and Mindy, I'm sorry, where do you teach?
I'm here at Alma Heights High School.
Yes,
And
English.
And this is Blakely.
I teach at Smithson Valley, and I'll be moving over to Seguin ISD because I just got a job as a librarian.
And we are all in library school, and so we were doing a presentation, and so we've been working together on this. I'm sorry, I'm going a little bit backwards here. All right, so they gave a little bit of an intro to what that is. Written on your document right here is a definition of open educational resources. They're teaching, learning, and research resources that reside in the public domain or have been released under an intellectual property license that permits their free use and repurposing. OER includes full courses, course materials, modules, textbooks, streaming videos, and so forth. Something that's important to remember about OERs is it's not just that they're free, it's how you can use them and reuse them. That's the important part. Well, the free is nice too. There are different types of licenses, and we are introducing this to you as a person who's looking for other people's materials. You, though, can feel free when you are making something and want to share it. It is very, very easy to get a license. It's a couple of clicks on the computer to get a license. But we're going to actually show you how you can tell if a resource is an OER. So I've just done a couple of screenshots. I found a couple of examples. This is a website called Merlot, like the wine, Merlot, and all I did is I went to the very bottom of that website, and this is what you will see. It'll have these little symbols just like you saw in the video. But on Wikipedia, which is also an OER, when I went to the bottom of it, it actually doesn't have the symbols. Usually they will have the symbols, but not always, so I wanted to show you an example of both of those. But this one will clearly say down here in the very, very fine print, text is available under the Creative Commons Attribution Share Alike license. And then you can click on that, it tells you exactly what you're allowed to do with that. Okay, so very quickly, let me go through the licenses. There are 6 different kinds, and I'm not going to read the whole thing because you have the document right in front of you. But this one, number 1, is what we call the least restrictive. And basically, if it has this symbol on there, you can use it for anything, commercial, non-commercial, internationally, for whatever you're doing, you can use that material as long as you give credit to the creator. So when you see that word BY, that's actually a word. It's not an acronym. It literally means this thing was created by, and then you're just telling who made it. So this website was created by Debbie Seguin, and that's what that symbol means. And then as you go down the symbols, you'll see they kind of add restrictions, but the restrictions are still pretty open. So they just have different symbols that'll tell you all the different ways that you can use them. Sometimes you can use them only non-commercially. Sometimes you can use them and you can't make any changes on them. Sometimes you can use them and make any changes and share them with anybody and make money off of it. So that's what these different licenses are for. Okay, and then Mindy is going to go through the different parameters for using them.
Great, thanks.
You bet.
This is pretty quick. I'll tell you that they use the acronym, the 5R permissions for OERs, and those 5 R's, those used to be on one page yesterday, I promise, I'm sorry. Retain means go and find, go and search the Creative Commons for what you're looking for. Retain the resource that you want. Then you can reuse it. If it has a Creative Commons license on it, you get to reuse it openly, as often as you want. In any way that you want. You can put it on your website, you can make photocopies, whatever you want to do with it. Revising and remixing then is where you can adapt it, you can modify it, you can translate the work, you can do anything that you need to do to it. Because I know there are very few teachers who go and copy something off the internet and just make a photocopy and run it as is, right? Not that any of us are control freaks, but it needs to be in our font and it needs to be written exactly the way we want it to be, right? And so the great thing about Creative Commons is you've got the revise and the remix options so that you can adapt anything to the needs that you want. The only kicker is, and all of the English people know, you've just got to keep that attribution, that it has a Creative Commons license attributed by. And then the final R is redistribute. That's what's so important. Once you've made your awesome handout and you've adapted it, turn around, get your own Creative Commons license for it. Like Debbie said, it's 2 clicks. We'll show you how to do it. And then share it with the world. And that you add it back to the Creative Commons database, and then anybody can search it, anybody can find your stuff, and there it is. And that's the thing. I know sometimes we get stuff and we love it and it's gold and you're going to keep it close to your chest, but thankfully we have such a great digital world, a community of sharers. And so you, in return, share back the awesome creation that you've created. If you want to read more about the 5R permissions, there's a link out to Lumen Learning that has a lot of information. Really quickly, we just took a document from the web. I'm sorry, I'm missing the screen. We took a document from Creative Commons that was for open content. It was an open educational resources from Creative Commons. It was actually defining open content and open educational resources. And this is what it looks like, right? It's boring, right? And so we turned around and took it, and Blakely actually, using Pictograph, Pictochart, revised it, and so she took all of that information down there and she put her teacher magic on it, as we do, made a Pictochart, same information. She doesn't have to worry about citing any of the information. She doesn't have to worry about using any quotations because it's open resource, it's Creative Commons. And she made this awesome infographic that has the same information. The only thing is you have to keep this attribution down at the bottom. Easy peasy, it's hers. We turned around, did a Creative Commons license for it, and shared it with the world. The final step is to redistribute. Once you're ready to redistribute your resource, and you simply go to creativecommons.org. Why doesn't everybody go to Creative Commons right now and just see what the website looks like? There's a lot to do here. You can either click that link. That link takes you here. If you want to go to this, up here you use and remix it. That's where you do the search. But here you do share your work. And then you choose the license that you want. I would say just keep the most broad license, unless you're really trying to start a business where you're going to make a lot of money off of teachers and creating resources and going and presenting. We should do that. I don't know why we don't all come up with a business plan. and go and share all of our stuff. But if you're going to do that, if you're just sharing it for teachers to use in the classroom, you probably want to choose the least restrictive license, which was that first one, that international license, and it allows people to do whatever they want. Pick your license. It takes 2 clicks. Then you literally will have your work, and you will have a Creative Commons image. Did you have to copy paste, Blakely, that image?
Yeah, so you can get it, it'll give you an HTML code, so if you're putting it on your website, you can embed the code and the image will show up there.
And then this is what it looks like.
But this one here is, because it's a doc and not a website, you just copy and paste it.
Okay, and that's about the 5 R's. Be sure you redistribute and share. That's what's important to the teachers of the world. And you can share via whatever platform you want. They give you lots of options here if you're a YouTube or a Vimeo or whatever you like, Flickr. All right, and I'll turn it over to Blakely, getting ready to search.
Okay, so this first image is how to search for these resources, and they give you the example of using Creative Commons, which was the website. But there's a lot of websites that you can go to look for these OER resources. So I'm going to go through some of those. There's some videos that you can watch, but down here I've chosen 4 websites that I personally went through myself to kind of test them out and see how easy it was and what the advantages and disadvantages were of using those. So the OERcommons.org, that is a very comprehensive site. There are a lot of materials out there that are not just for high school or not just for primary, they're post-secondary. So there's a ton of materials out there, a lot of information. The only disadvantages is you really have to have time to search through it. Okay, so if you're looking for something quickly, that might not be the best thing, but if you're planning ahead, a unit, that's a really good one to go into. And just make sure that you know what topic you are looking for, because you have to be pretty specific in order to get what you need. The second one, and this one I've actually used in my classroom a lot this year, is Common Lit. And that was developed by someone actually that went to New Braunfels High School. And she developed this open educational resource. This is really good for English and history classes because it gives you readings with questions that are associated with them. And the readings are grouped thematically. You can search for readings that are going to be paired with your book. It has YA fiction in there, so you know the Diary of a Part-Time Indian is in there. You can look for Romeo and Juliet classics are in there, and it'll give you readings such as poems, updated news articles, all that kind of stuff that you can put with that. The only disadvantage is you can't go in there and change the questions yourself. You'll have to create a new document and adjust it, and just be careful because while it is an open educational resources, there are some restrictions with the copyright with the images and the text itself, so you need to make sure you cite those. The third one is Open Ed. This one really closely matched OER Commons. It gave you a wide range, except for this one is just going to be focused on kinder to secondary levels. It's not going to go beyond there. This one I thought was really interesting also because you could search by TEKS. So it had the TEKS listed in there, and you could search by, I want to teach them about, persuasive writing, and you could click on the TEK and it would show you resources that go along with that. So I thought that was really interesting. And again, like OER Commons, it's best if you have a really specific topic in mind or a specific TEK that you're wanting to teach when you're going in there searching. The last one, Curriki has a lot of information, and it's great because so many of the sources are created by teachers, and it has the same lessons and activities. However, because there's so many personalized material, you really need to look through it, whereas some of the other ones have things from PBS that are a little bit more credible. So really make sure you look at the resource that you're going to be using since it was created by a person and not an organization. What I want to do now is give you some time, since we've given you all the information, to kind of search for some things. So either with the person that you're sitting next to or by yourself, I'm giving you a note card so that you can choose one of these sites and try to find your own advantage and disadvantage to using it, as well as think of one thing that maybe you could use in your classroom. For example, I know this year I used Creative Commons as the Common Lit, as a station. And the kids could go, once they got to that station in their group, they would go through the Common Lit and pull up the theme, tragedy, and their group would pick one article to read together. So giving them that choice and including the technology, but they're still reading. So click on one of your 4 websites and search for a topic.
And there are a couple of you in here, I know Dave and Laura teach dual credit, and if you teach any college courses, they're really interested in the open textbook. I know you guys have explored that open textbooks in your courses. Lots of universities are going to open textbook. You two probably know more than I do, but there's a video, it's a YouTube video, about using open textbooks in your course. It's pretty lengthy, but maybe that will be useful to you, and if you guys want to look for open textbooks, feel free to do that.
No, I'm just saying because it would make you create an
And if you have any feedback about any of the sites, if you're able to go on at least 2 or 3 of them, it would be helpful to everybody if you just gave some feedback about which you thought was easier to use and whether you thought the benefits and the disadvantages that you can see those. Like, which is the one that you said was for kindergarten through 2nd grade?
That one was Open Ed. Open Ed is one that really matches like the curriculum of school, a public school.
Okay, for all of the grades?
For all the grades is Open Ed. So it goes from kindergarten to high school.
Okay, whereas the other ones are more for general population too.
OER Common is very general population. The 4th one, QRT, is very general. And then the middle two, Common Lit and Open Ed, are really for the second primary.
Okay.
I think that the searches are a little tricky, so if you guys have some good tricks, share with us, please.
I add a plus sign, like you do something and plus.
Oh, and it worked? So what did you put in?
No, I'm saying when I do
Try
a
that.
general search.
No, I didn't. So make it.
You still teaching juniors?
So like Common Lit, I see a lot of people on. If you go to the library, and usually what we do is you can either browse by book, and the books are there. You can search them, but let's say you're doing 1984. It'll give you the text. It'll give you, some of them will provide Lexile levels. That's really helpful when giving kids choices and you have all sorts of levels in your classroom. You can kind of see how difficult it is, or you can say, hey, how about you choose these two, one of those. Until you see the grade level. And you've got up-to-date articles, and you have ones by Kurt Vonnegut, ABC News. Sometimes they have some from NPR on there. And then when you pull one up on the right, it will have questions. And some of those do need to be adapted depending on the level of students.
Do what? When? Brian, I have to figure that out. It'll be first semester. Send me some stuff. I've just been collecting.
I'll just send you all the things out.
I'd appreciate it. I just plugged through it. It's like, it took me a lot longer to get through than I remembered. It's good.
The kids all love it.
The pacing, how are you gonna pace it by?
I did certain groups of 11.
And it's organized by those chunks, but did they?
Yeah, I can get you. No, I set it up like we would read for the first week. It would maybe read through, go into Thornwood, and then the next week it'd be read to the fire, and then be read to. So I broke it up by a major event in my life.
Okay.
And then because at each of those events, in between them, they all mark some sort of change for
Right.
Jane in that character. I think that's how. I'll find my reading schedule online.
Awesome.
Before that, I just did the 3 books. It worked better to do shorter pieces.
Brian and I've been emailing. He's at the AP conference right now, so
He was not excited.
no, he's never excited.
But he had to go. Like, it had been
Forever. No, and I told him, I said, you're going, you're going to get all the stuff that I shared with you in
And
the
I think
last
they
couple
said
of
they were going to
years.
be adding stuff, but this is really, that website's really
Anyway,
nice. I like it.
How did you know it was somebody from your local?
he's
It was
so,
in the news and everything, yeah, it was.
I like that. You guys finding anything?
And they're like
I'm
much more
searching.
updated.
So what are you specifically looking for?
like I just typed in Jane Eyre.
Okay, so
Yeah,
clicked
this
on
is
the
different.
Lit,
No, I
the
wouldn't
Common
have
Lit
didn't find that
website
those
also,
the resources
if you
there
are a
were
campus
very
where
useful.
they're really pushing collaboration across across the core courses, this is a really good one to do that. Let's say you're doing a novel on Fahrenheit 451. You can click on that, find
Versus
that
written
in the
by young women.
Common Lit, and then click on that, and it will have
It looks like it's all taking
something
things that are
that's
thematically
Thematically linked.
or
might be
like
science, might be
self-reliance.
social
That's a
studies,
big issue for
but something that you
And for
can
bronze.
collaborate with.
I've never used the Common Lit one, but they say it's really new and they're adding to it and creating it. Like it's a new open ed source, so I'm sure throughout the year it'll be beefed up.
What have you used?
Me, open ed, common, I start with Creative Commons and then the open ed. Here's the open,
And then
And
you just
then-
put your search in.
put your search in. So it's it's tricky with the searches. It's got to be something pretty specific. It's kind of like data library databases. I found.
For which one?
Right now we're on the OER Commons.
Yeah, it was hard to like find stuff sometimes, and you find, like I found some neat things, but I had to be so
specific in your search. So let's think of like a specific thing that you want to.
I think with OpenEd it was easier for me to search by team, and then I could go through, or by a book title.
Open Ed. Yeah, OER Commons is like the JSTOR of the world where it picks up everything. To me, it's kind of what I thought. I thought you'd be really specific with OER Commons. It gives you a lot. But,
So can I do like a,
so do a book title.
you know, I teach this so often and I'm like,
Something new.
something fresh.
And then search. And so then a lot of it's going to be kind of like stuff you don't want. But there's high school. This is true. Do this view right here. Change your view. Why is it just showing one? It's only saying there's one thing in there about husband. So maybe you try race relations. Maybe you try racism. Maybe you try satire and see what you find.
Oh wow, it's got a lot of stuff in it though.
Yeah. So it's going to be kind of like Teachers Pay Teachers, where it's maybe something you want, but it's maybe something you don't want. You know, but at least it's free and you can reuse it.
So then how do I open it?
So
Oh, view resources.
It's like a lecture, it's showing like what she says for each slide, but I don't know if I can find the slides.
What does that say?
It's gonna open a new tab.
Do you like the Fassbinder Jane
Yeah.
Eyre?
I do like the fast
I do too.
even though it,
I mean, it's
in a
not
completely
yeah.
different order. Like,
Right. But I think it's cool.
I
how they
think
did
it's
it.
when he's streaming.
He is
Okay.
streaming.
I do think it helps to have them already read parts of Wollstonecraft's Vindication of the
Yeah.
Rights of Women, and then so like we don't go obviously like our first subject in chronology, coming off of romanticism and understanding what's happening.
Would anyone like to share one of the
Right.
sites that they
Right.
looked on and some advantages and disadvantages you saw, or even something that maybe you like how you can use it in your classroom. Yes.
So I really like the comments that Sharon made about it before. And I like how it paired things for novels, which is really cool. I think that the level of the
Okay, let me go there.
when you click on 9th and 10th grade, seems to be a little bit too advanced for some 9th and 10th graders. But that just allows you to then go to a different level. And I was thinking, well, what you could do is for the kids that are higher, you can have them read different things. And then it would really give you the opportunity to differentiate. And then you could do one of the things where they pair and share or something like that, where they meet their own reading level, but then at the same time they're able to then share what they have learned, and then you can hear from lots of people about what the different things they read too, because you have so many different texts. So I really like that.
Yes. Yeah, it's nice because it does give you those levels and the lextiles, and if you have, which we all do, have students in our class with all varying levels, even if it's a pre-AP class, they're all over the place. It gives you some ability to allow them to read things that are on their level or a little bit above or vary that in your class. Anyone else have something to share that they noticed about any of the sites?
Or any questions you might have? They got it in 30 minutes. We must rock. Any sharing? Tell us some cool things you found or something you liked. Or one site you thought was better than the other. Or one that you thought was worse than the other.
I just asked Mindy about what she uses, and I teach Huckleberry Finn every year, and I'm like, oh, I'm so tired, I want something new. But I just found this site that's got like lots of pictures, some primary sources, some essays, and then it even has links to other materials. So this is definitely something I'm going to explore further.
Nice. Is that the open? You went with the OER Commons?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, OER Commons.
Yeah, it's nice because it seems like, I've been teaching 9th grade for 9 years, and it seems like Google always pulls up the same exact things every single year. And then when I went on here and was searching for stuff, it actually had some new material that I could use. So like you said, to teach, you're teaching the same book, but use something a little bit more updated that's fresh. Yeah.
And I know that Teachers Pay Teachers gets obviously a bad rap, but if you've ever used Teachers Pay Teachers, sometimes there's stuff that you like, but then sometimes it's just kind of a lot. I really have to say that you're going to find the same thing with the open educational resources. You're going to get stuff that's like, ho-hum, that's not smart enough for my kids, but at least it's free. At least all of your resources, skip through it. Keep in mind, this is somebody else in another world with kids that are not geniuses like yours, and so find something else. Well, my kids are the smartest.
And remember, you have no limitations on what you can copy, what you can use in presentations. If you're putting together some kind of presentation about a novel or whatever it is that you're teaching, you don't have to worry about citations and all of that. You just have to let people know who created that. So it's just a lot quicker.
Well, feel free to stay as long as you want to search, but we're done talking and recording. We would really love your feedback. If anybody wants to email us and just say, hey, I wish you would have done this, or this was helpful, or whatever, email either Blakely or Debbie or myself and let us know what you guys think. And we so appreciate you guys coming on your summer break. Be sure you get some snacks.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Stay as long as you want.
So Kathleen, this last time I broke it into 4 sections. And so